Shalom. All praises to Yahweh. Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem HaRakah. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most honorable wall. And shalom to all the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Got this article on the Baltimore Sun talking about this Catholic Church, man. These guys have been on a rampage for the longest. And now, a report's come out. But this is just one town. So it's not even like this is the full-on extent of what these men have been getting up to. Like, this is legit just an investigation in one area. But these men have been have been on a fucking rampage, man. Says there's a 4-year investigation of Baltimore's Catholic Archdiocese reveals the scope of 8 years of child sex abuse and torture, how church officials often covered up, in some cases paved the way for further abuse. It says, among the accounts, a deacon who admitted abusing more than 100 children, a priest who chained and whipped boys for his gratification, another priest who, after receiving psychiatric treatment, went on to abuse 20 students at a Baltimore boys' school. So yeah, these men are on something else entirely. Because I don't know what, like, why you're chaining up or whipping you. It's like, these men are out of their minds. And a lot of these things basically were known about and just hushed up. And that's how a lot of things work in Esau's realm, man. In Esau's realm, a big part of it is the control of what even gets revealed, man. What even gets put out to the public. So it says the Maryland Attorney General's office released Wednesday its report on child sexual abuse in the Archdiocese of Baltimore. So yes, only in Baltimore. It says it's nearly 500 pages and tell how 156 clergy and other church officials tormented more than 600 children and young adults dating back to the 1940s. The Baltimore Archdiocese covers Baltimore City and 9 counties in central and western Maryland. Says, spurred by the report's publication, the General Assembly sent a bill Wednesday to Democrat Governor Wes Moore's desk that would make it easier for survivors to sue the institutions that employ their abusers. The report names at least 36 abusers who are not listed on the Archdiocese of Baltimore's online list of 152 priests and brothers credibly accused of abuse. 10 more abuser names are redacted. Other diocesan officials' identities are redacted also. So even then, ain't even fully getting exposed. There's still certain men that you can't touch, which shows how much of a mess this is. Because it's not even like, they're just on a certain scale. These men have been on a madness, like, just from pure volume. These men have been going buck wild, bro. Because it gets into it further down. So it says other officials' identities are redacted also. And the Catholic Church paid at least some of the legal costs for a group of people who sought to have their names shielded. Yeah, so they're still, they're still getting protected. So okay. So let me start on this one. So it says, investigators' discoveries expose the full story of men like Father John Joseph Mike, who served in parishes around Timonium, Baltimore, Halethorpe, and Clarksville before being transferred out of state in 1988. While Mike was charged with abusing a boy in 1987 and pleaded guilty, an archdiocese official said at the time that the case did not involve sexual contact. So yeah, he was, it's caught doing something already. But, saying it wasn't sexual, but it says, in reality, Mike sadistically abused at least 7 teenage boys for his sexual gratification. The report said in 1987, at St. Louis Parish in Clarksville, one victim was made to wear a loincloth while Mike poked him with a heated pin, and forced him to run laps around the parish gym as Mike lashed him with a bullwhip. Oh, that. And again, little boys running around the loincloths so they can whip them up, man. What the fuck is going on here? Like, that's the scale of madness that's going down. These men are meant to be, the Catholic Church. From, if you were to just look at it from an outside perspective, you would just think, these guys are just, they're getting together, just teaching them about God, getting them on levels, getting them in the spirit. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, man? Man out here lashing them up. Watch your man run around and what's going on there, man? Y'all are a mess, bro. It says, I was tied to a basketball backboard by my hands and suspended into the air, where he whipped me 150 times with a bullwhip, from which I shall always carry the scars. Until he was dangling. Fuck, man, that's 150 times. Ain't got more lashings than the Arabs be doing out there, man. God damn, like. It says one of the newly public names, Deacon Lee O'Hara of Baltimore, admitted in 1987 to having molested more than 100 children since 1953. The Anne Arundel County State's Attorney's Office did not charge him. The report said because investigators could not identify any of his victims, O'Hara died in 1994. So yeah, man, even admitted to being like, look, man, I was doing crime acts, I was doing criminality, and then they didn't even do shit. That just shows how, like, Esau's so-called justice system, this thing is a joke. Because a lot of these, well, even I think they say it at the top, like with what's it called, the statute of limitations, where certain crimes, you can be someone could bring an accusation on you after a certain amount of time and say, oh, he did this to me 15 years ago, and then depending on the laws, the guy could be like, yeah, I did that shit, but if too much time passed, then nothing's gonna happen. Like that on what? But a certain thing, if a guy said, yeah, I choke slam my wife into train tracks and watch her die, like, bro, you have to be like, is this guy okay? Like, what the hell is going on? Says it's going beyond the horror of the individual cases. The report reveals the extent of the Catholic Church's efforts to conceal the depravity within its ranks. The staggering pervasiveness of the abuse itself underscores the culpability of the church hierarchy, the authors wrote. Priests who abused children were often known to the diocese, yet little was done to stop them, according to the report. For example, Father Lawrence Brett admitted in 1964 to abusing a boy in Connecticut. Church officials then sent him to treatment in New Mexico, where he continued to abuse boys, and he was then transferred to Calvert Hall College High School in Baltimore, where Brett abused at least 20 more, the report states. Brett died in 2010. So these men were just on a rampage, bro. Like, these men needed help. And hella these men are fucking hunting down little boys, man. But that's why it's rare. These guys ain't got the truth, man. These guys aren't the one. These men are, anyone that thought these, these guys are righteous, these guys are, were dealing with the truth. Yahweh Shai was dealing with them. That's complete hogwash, mate. That's complete BS. These guys obviously have no clue what's going on. There was oh yeah. So these men are all linked up. So what are the unclean frogs as well? What does it say? In 1987, the head of Baltimore State's Attorney's Office's Sex Crimes Unit declined to prosecute. Father Robert Newman, who admitted to abusing 12 boys between the ages of 9 to 15 over a 15-year period. The unnamed prosecutor said she saw the value of trying to keep a yo, man's like, yo, he's been playing with the little 9-year-old boys. And then you're like, yeah, but he's just done so much. I'm like, bro, what the hell are you talking about, bro? This guy's out of his fucking mind, man. This guy's a lunatic. This guy's a raving madman, man. Man's running around, got little boys in the loincloths coming to his chambers, and then you're like, yeah, but he's just doing so. This guy's out of their minds, man. These guys are fucking lunatics. So I said the unnamed prosecutor said she saw the value of trying to keep a man like this in ministry. According to the report, Newman was sent to a treatment center and then assigned to the Archdiocese of Hartford, Connecticut, where he remained a priest until his abuse was made public in 2002. So you would have just been on the same thing. Would have been bringing all the little boys to his room, and now they're fucking traumatized, and a bunch of them probably killed themselves already. So the report called for state legislature to amend Maryland civil statute of limitations for child sex abuse. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So it's like there's like a time limit, statute of limitations on it. So a guy can be going around talking about, yeah, I was doing criminality on little boys and whatnot. Little boys and girls doing a madness, and then and you just can't do shit. Like, what the fuck is going on here? So it says the Senate passed the Child Victims Act, which would remove the statute of limitations on lawsuits. Moore vowed to sign it. The Maryland Catholic Conference, which represents all three dioceses operating in the state, opposed the bill every turn and is expected to challenge it in court. Yeah, it's I don't know what, like and so they opposed it every turn. I'm like, bro, you man it just got doing crime, man, as standard. But that's the thing, is all these things now are it's getting exposed to the level where it's not even not even a joke. It's plain as day. It's like, yo, this guy's a fuck. What the fuck's wrong with these guys? These guys are out of their minds, man. And these guys are meant to be teaching the truth. Like, what the hell's going on? And he's fiddling with some little boys, and then he's meant to come out and teach you how to attain salvation. Like, what the? These guys are These guys are losing their minds, man. But that's the thing is, it's one of the unclean frogs, and now it's all getting exposed. It's getting pushed out to where it's standard. What's the term? It's common knowledge that these guys are fucking out of their minds. Isaiah 47:1, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the fire, pass over the rivers." Yeah, that fire's being uncovered, man. The whole leg is found out to be rotten. It's found out to be cancerous. It's basically being exposed that Esau's a lowlife. Esau's been a lowlife degenerate. His kingdom he's set up is filled with lowlife degenerates. All these guys in positions of power. Why, bro? Why is it all these big institutions got fucking pedophile rings, man? You find out like, oh, the Hollywood is one of the most supreme pedophile rings. Man didn't even let an ounce of that get out. Had the chief handlers, man like Epstein's and that, just getting he getting force choked. Darth Vader was using the force to to choke man, and then just levitate him in the air, choke him out, and then tie a noose around his neck, so it looked like he got force choked in his fucking in his cell. And then even for this, it's saying like these men are being covered up. It says like even with a newspaper, they'll basically go into the newspaper. Newspaper was covering us, so these men were getting niced. But all this is going down. This is because they're part of the system. They're the Catholic Church. That's part of Esau's power structure. They control, the religious aspect. That's why you have the Pope going around, even though he's buckling. Man collapsed when he when the Queenie was still about. Man would come to the UK. Well, it wasn't even the UK. I think that was just somewhere in Europe. Everyone's coming to the Queen. Queen ain't bound to no one, but the Pope has to come down and on bended knee to the Queen. Because why? Because he knows he's part of the system. He's part of the structure. He's got a role to play. That's why these men have been running rampant. Because they're part of the system. Them men can do what the hell they want to do, man. These guys are fully entrenched within the left-hand side, man. It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Yeah. That nakedness got uncovered, that shame's being seen, man. That's why all these things are coming out, man. Said like fucking 600 motherfuckers like all up in there. Some of them redacted. I'm like, bro, what the hell has been going on? Like that's not even like just one on a few bad apples. That's like these guys are fucking guys a bit dumb, been out of their minds for a minute, man. These guys are lunatics, man. So Psalm 64 and 7, it says, "But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. They shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." Yeah. Esau's getting exposed by Esau, man. Satan's being divided against himself. You got one of these institutions coming against the other, which is basically just highlighting how the structure of the whole system, the thing's fucked, man. The thing's a mess. Esau's trying, he's trying to set things up where, there's some form of, there's a reason for his shit to continue, but it's just a mess. Mm, 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 yeah, I'll leave it there. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yeah, Shalom. Shalom.